Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Christine with gaugegirltraining, an online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist and chemical engineer, and in today's video, I am going to debunk body types. So let's get started. So before we proceed any further, you may be wondering if you heard me correctly. Christine, you have hundreds of videos talking about body types and why they are helpful. Now, you're gonna backtrack and tell us that body types are not right? Let me explain. The reason why body typing is so important is because it provides context to what is anatomically, physically, and genetically possible for a given person and their situation when it comes to reaching their physique goals. Body typing allows you to look at things based off of the perspective of things you cannot control, which are like genetic predisposition, and things you can control, which is of particular interest. Now, W.H. Sheldon in the 1940s coined the term somatotype, which is also the same thing as body type, and created three primary categories, which are endomorphs, mesomorphs, and ectomorphs. Now, the body typing theories related to behavioral science were in fact debunked. You can't tell anything about someone's behavior based off of their anatomy and what they physically look like. However, from a human biological perspective, there was some merit to the concept of body typing, because what it says was, hey, ectomorphs struggle to gain weight. They are very lean, they have a tendency to have a high metabolism. When it comes to mesomorphs, they tend to gain weight easily, but they also tend to lose it easily. Endomorphs are the folks who tend to gain weight extremely easily and really struggle to lose weight. So that perspective makes sense. The problem is people can be a combination of body types. Body type can change with age. It can change throughout the course of your life due to so many different factors. As a result of that, you guys, it's very hard to provide conclusive reasoning and backing from a nutrition perspective as to how you should be eating. And the reason for this is because I have had some clients who look like endomorphs. When I say an endomorph, meaning you are more bottom heavy, you do have a tendency to keep more weight on the lower half, but they would have mesomorph metabolisms. So how do you resolve that? And then likewise, I may have some folks who are mesomorphs. They tend to gain weight easily, lose weight pretty evenly, but yet have metabolic issues where they have certain reasons why they can't break past certain plateaus. They struggle in the same way that an endomorph would. So the reason for all of those things is there needs to be a better solution for me to be able to present nutritionally sound advice that is applicable under all situations. Body typing, somatotypes, it's an excellent starting point to give people realistic expectations about what they can practically accomplish given genetics, given anatomy, and whatnot. However, as a nutritionist, there is no way I could possibly write universal protocols for folks just based off of their physique and what they look like alone, because there are chemical and biological and hormonal factors that definitely play a role that you can't see with the naked eye. And what I have uncovered is that there is a piece of this equation that is missing. That piece is called carb tolerance. Generally speaking, body typing guidelines tend to err on the side of ectomorphs do better with higher carbohydrates, mesomorphs do better with moderate carbohydrates, where endomorphs tend to do better with lower carbohydrates. The problem is this: there are hormonal and metabolic factors that play a much bigger role regarding how you should eat. Too many people are using anecdotal evidence just from one's physical appearance alone and utilizing that information to make a judgment call on how to break somebody's macronutrients down. So this is where I came up with the concept of macrotypes. Body typing is a suitable gauge to dictate ways and methods that one would do well with regards to training, and there is definitely some value and merit to that. However, body typing alone doesn't sufficiently encompass how to eat. And the reason for that is because it does not consider the body's biochemical response to each of the three different macronutrients, with the most important one being the way the body responds to carbohydrates. There is much debate in the nutrition community over the best way to fuel the body, and carbohydrates are recognized as the body's primary fuel source. However, there is much debate in the nutrition community over the most appropriate way to fuel the body. What led to my breakthrough with my personal nutrition was a protein-fueled, low-fat, moderate carb approach to nutrition, which is very common to the bodybuilding community. This is a protein-fueled macro type. The reason why this worked so well for me is I have very moderate carb tolerance. I don't have any issue processing carbs. I don't have any issue where I need to go extremely low or overly high. It's about average, and it works well for, I'd say, maybe half of people, but it doesn't apply to everybody. And the reason why it worked so well for me is because when your body is in a positive nitrogen balance, it allows you to utilize fat as a fuel source and spare lean muscle tissue. That worked great for me. The problem is not everybody is going to have that same hormonal biochemical response to the same exact macronutrients. And this is where I began to identify more and more problems, because as a scientist, I like to be able to break things apart with respect to variables and understand the relationship between those variables, so that way you can make meaningful models and suggestions for how to proceed. And the problem is, what works for me doesn't work for everybody else. The beauty of that is I've been able to identify variables that do help people unlock the most appropriate way you should be eating. And I believe that it is not body types, but it is macro types. Macro types describes how your body responds to the individual macronutrients and which ones you should be having in higher ratios and why. With that being said, you guys, I want you guys to know that this is what my whole new book is about. It's called Unlock Your Macro Type. Once you understand your body's relationship with carbohydrates, utilizing science, and I have a very meaningful, in-depth quiz. I have tons and tons and tons of research backing everything that I am presenting to you guys, and I'm allowing you guys to figure out which one is your macro type. Now, some of you guys are going to be very surprised what category you fall into. Some of you guys may just confirm what you already knew to be true, but there's going to be some of you guys who are on the fence between different macro types, and it's going to make a lot more sense to you as to why certain things don't work well for you, why you need to be eating in a specific way, and how you can experience a breakthrough in your progress and just in your overall well-being as a result of that. So if you guys want some more information on how you can get access to my book, Unlock Your Macro Type, it is available for pre-order. The link below. There is a special gift available while supplies last. For those folks who do pre-order, the book drops on March 8th, 2022. I will be doing tons more videos on macro types and what that means. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, load up the comment sections. Bring me all your questions because I want to answer every single one. The more common questions, I will make more YouTube videos to address. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.